happened? Internet say, "We are hearing me fine." Um, um. Okay, let me bring in Doctor. Okay, Doctor, they hearing me?
Yeah, they hear you.
You hearing me?
Yeah, they
Okay.
hear you.
I just want to make. Okay. Okay. Welcome to the program. My name is Dr. Mankota. You are watching the TPN TV radio network. Today we get a very important program where we want to discuss. We get to do with the APC, All People's Congress Party in a salon. You get two APC in Africa party. You get APC Nigeria and you get APC in a salon. So as a platform we are global, we need for we do them distinctions and this now APC Sierra Leone. And of course we are Sierra Leoneans, so mostly we program the salon. And as we all already don't know, a lot of things don't happen since yesterday. And the ruling don't come in. All right. I don't know. Uh, somebody look like say you're not happy. Oh, Omotunde, you sad, huh? I know, huh? All right. If you get any comments on this topic today, what they can discuss, so please make sure you put that comment in at the comment section of you your platform where they watch me from. And I know say we are ready for say yes, indeed. The long-awaited judgment from Justice Adrian Fisher on the case between Alfred Peter Contem and the APC executive was rendered, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Yesterday, I think, yesterday. It was rendered yesterday. And it wasn't good for a lot of people, and because the judge rendered the executive null and void and ask them to stop from acting as executive members. And this include the chairman and leader of the APC party, the all the NAC. Let me just put it this way. And it was a very bold and harsh for some people judgment. For other people, it was the right thing to do. All right. When the ruling come out, I've been to watch social media and just see waiting at the reactions of people around the world. And to my amazement, but not surprisingly, I find out say the reactions are different. It varies, especially within the APC party. For people then we um, support Alfred Peter Conte and the other groups, them they're happy. They are really happy for this ruling. For people that way support Yansane and the other leaders, they're like uh, former President Hannes Bekoroma, uh, they are sad and probably bitter, angry a little bit. So, but this now an indication of the divisiveness we we've been done the bill within the APC party. You know, the APC party we don't we don't do so much this past 4 years for divide ourselves into conclaves. One group they under the other group they under the other group they under, And that group they attack the other group, the other group they attack the other group. All these divisions, they go on for the past 4 years. And this ruling is just an indication. The reactions we are seeing is just an indication of waiting at the try to talk about. Now, let's go into the ruling. The ruling says the executive. I'm just summarizing here. The executive. Some members of the executive were selected, and therefore it is illegal, according to Judge Fisher, when he looked at the 1995 constitution of the APC party. He said that constitution puts specifically say the executive chairman and leader and all the other, the executive, besides the chairman and leader of the party, has to be elected. The chairman can be selected according to what you understand. Now, but in can find out saying all the executive members where they're supposed to elect, then select them. So therefore, first, their position is null and void. Now it come back to the chairman and leader where the constitution say they can appoint them or select them. He say the selection of the chairman and leader it not violate the constitution, but for the fact that then time been not expire since last year, so they are no longer legitimate. So he take them and put them inside the same basket where he put the other executive, the way they select illegally according to him. So this na the order of the judge. He said now, in order for make the party move forward, then therefore choose a 21-man committee. And out of the 21-man committee, 12 of those members will be selected by Parliament, the head of Parliament, when Kerikoko. Each supposed to be each district gets 2 members, but the south and east not get 2 members. Then get one member. So the south and east get 2. Then bring in the women's leader and one from the diaspora and one from the young generation wing. So, and Peter Conte, in young group, supposed to get 9 members where then they present that 21-man committee day. And now from Peter Alfred Peter Conte, now in they choose the chairman. It's very, very devastating, right? For a lot of people. Very, 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 very devastating for a lot of people, especially the one that way they against Peter Alfred Conte. Then see same, this is a win for Peter Alfred Conte, and therefore Adrian Fisher, a ruling, no fear at all. Okay. Now we don't get people their way we know say, then they take sides, someone they will support Yasanen and the Samura and group, because these are the people where they just don't bunch together. Unfortunately, most of the executives and don't endorse Samura. And I remember, right, when I've been bringing the act in publicity, when Yaya Tunis, now this program where I ask her specifically saying the endorsements we then don't make for Samura, it is untimely and it causes more chaos within the APC party, because these people are leaders. Now they get for organize every election who get for take place, including the presidency candidate. So if you now you now one of now when I get for organize this election, then you come out publicly and say, okay, now this person are the support. You don't put a cloud on the process itself. So I tell her, I say, when I not for being done, nobody not say make you not support somebody. But as a leader, your support should be private because you get responsibility where you get for do your level best so that the process people then go see and say now a transparent and free and fair process. But if I don't come now and can endorse one candidate over the other publicly, that was a big mistake. And I remember that, right? And now this thing don't can happen. So they all don't come out. But what about we not align ourselves to any group within the APC party? We some of we neutral. We affiliate ourselves with the party itself, not an individual. People like me so are not join no group within the APC party. Me na APC member and now the APC party I care about. Now the APC party are the advocate for. So what about we? Where shall we stand? What's in our opinion into this matter? So if you're not APC member, please put your comments now the comment section of the platform where you dey watch from, so that we go able for give your opinion. The judgment is done. There is no way for reverse again. It is done. So we not once again for make we begin go relegate like say well this judgment in other ways, except the APC party or the executive, the way they don't pull so, they want for appeal. And an appeal is a very devastating something because we get much more important thing right now to do. That is for organize and try go to convention. So we will able to heal some of the scars where the convention get for make, and we unify the party and go further. So if there is any appeal and it is just the delay the convention. And I think we need for understand that same. An appeal at this time is not feasible if we all like the APC party. We have to move on. We have to look at this and say, okay, we not agree with George Fisher in ruling. Some of we not agree with them, but for the sake of the party, let's move on. Let's try for bring the party together. You know. So if you're not a member of the APC party, so just put your comment at the comment section. We they read all them comments and they will discuss them with Muna together and the commentator way right now they on the line. We na Dr. Augustine Kamara. We will all know na this program. All right. So that's now the issue. This what now we were not aligned to any group. What do we feel? Okay, I dey bring Dr. Kamara, but I just want to give what me feel first. Then Dr. Kamara, instead dey give in your opinion what you feel about this ruling. All right, as a member of the APC party, and as somebody who a lot of people don't know for a very long time, now the APC party for me, somebody we always they look at the APC party in a totality. No, not like individual like the way other people that they look at the APC party based on this person, me and Ingrimo or this person. Now yeah, the support so therefore at the defender in anything, even if it goes to the detriment of the APC party. This is not the way I am, right? I look at the party and see if the actions that we would bring it into the party, it dey impede the success of the party, and I dey come out and say, even if I support you as an individual, I will tell you, say, no, no, what you do so, it dey impede the party in success. So, first of all, I am very, very disappointed. I am disappointed because I strongly believe. Oh, let me see this. Okay, you just dey look at the comments where they come. I'm disappointed because This ruling for the court cancel we what we do. It's indicates that we not able for resolve ourselves within the party for the problem solution. Una remember, oh, this is not the first time. In 2005, we had similar problem. We go to court, later we go pull the case, we cancel it off. And I was expecting that should have been the issue. Unfortunately, um, we're not able to have. We're not able to come. And the APC party are one of the parties wey get most of the smart people dem na the country dem na the APC party. They're able to do anything, get intellectuals dem. Human capacity for managing any political party in that country dey. But it became clear that people are not listening to other people. People are just doing what they feel like doing in that thing. So therefore, animosity begins to build up to the extent that people say, well, I have to go seek redress through the courts. And now in lead we to this so. Now, are we going to no, um I don't think say he beneficial to the APC party for continuing. Waiting I mean right now, let's move on, let's put together and move on and try for work together because also because people them we in our elders like all back, all back and forth it is time for we all outside and come together and organize. Let's give a little bit of party for make the party come together and try for organize and strategize for the 2023 election because we're not nothing absolutely up to this time. So you're angry, gentlemen, especially the one the winner APC member, even if you're angry, not look at this based on individual support we get for people them. Look at the party in interest and see how we all go, you know, all the anger we will get and say, well, I they give up, I they come to for try for work with the other group so that we all they come together. That I'm expecting as a police. Dr. Kamara, what you
Yeah. Good afternoon, Dr. Makota. Good afternoon, viewers, listeners, and comrades. Um, I hope they are really clear. I know the echo.
no, you know the echo.
All right. Yeah, this now very interesting stage where the political life of the APC party don't reach. And it's like what we call a parallel or paradoxical situation. Um, you know, in history, there are changes. And probably this time we don't come to the APC, the life, they go try for look at things retrospectively within themselves and go to the blackboard and correct a lot of things then. I'm only happy for one thing that the youths the way they come, they will come make this change beneficial to themselves. First of all, if you look at the ruling, any APC or most of the APC supporters there, they will have expert Fisher. But we not expert Fisher. It don't help the situation. Alfred Conte, he said it don't help the situation. The only thing we have been hold against them is not being allowed for make them do this thing internally for make APC before once then get millions them in private like the room. But according to a last speech we make Wayeri, He tried to go the extra mile, but they not agree with them, even with the elders then. So just like how you say, he felt aggrieved, and so he went to court. Yeah, at a face value, if you look at it, yes, it's wrong. But now that it don't happen, the die is cast. What if they happen? It dey happen. What if they don't kill from APC? I mean, why I use the word kill, not to some kind of uh phrase number one I want to use a word. None of us saying that the kill. Now for try for put an end. So a common practice that the APC were at one time after they say fix it. The presidency or something, not to foresee if we go no more to Sierra Leone or something. And this was the first time Buba, a Gambian, become a president like FDC. If we go to the other side, whilst we are students, if we get the right for participate by the society. So this time they can happen at the APC. The only thing I see some extreme judgment here where a get for ban everything from the big allied them even to the outskirts of the periphery of the party. Whilst you, if I understand them right, you therefore be non and void. I think that is too extreme from Fisher. But again, there is no time for point fingers now. This is not time solution.
Yep.
Because just like how Dr. Makota says, the APC gets a lot of potential. And that's why we therefore believe in this because not to one man or more for day at one place, I mean forever. Or I mean, we look at for say, oh, if we take this man, other person will do. No. The World Cup winner, World Cup, Brazil winner, Brazil, every year when they pull new player or new players, then we go say, this team and the green team until when Brazil become complacent, that is, they still say, oh, they can win the World Cup at any time. Now they be lost. Now they catch up now. Now they come back to the beginning the World Cup. So I hope so. With all the mistakes, I don't want to point fingers. What we feel say we don't do or the APC don't do, make them look inside themselves, they come and try as soon as possible to meet the deadline and get this interim at work. Now, the only question is, maybe for me, say, a very sorrowful, the old regime that before hand over power to the new executive away for camp by allowing them to stay and during this period, then but I think it is still in effect. Now then people like it for work and handover because until Fisher not say make them do out with effect, that is from the court ruling that day, when say it give them an ample time for say in 2 weeks or 14 days period, well they are even able to work on this. So let them work within this period of time and together with Peter Conte and everybody collectively, and this is where I am advising again. Now the die is cast. We what don't be, it don't be. Now for Fetam. But enough of Fetam with arrogance or with the kid and the ego. Now the young, the old, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all to come together. Therefore allow that to happen and make them strategize. Now time for strategy. Not the time for go begin this thing, uh, 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 some people are like for enjoyment no more than they wait for. Now, enjoyment must be left at the end. Must we not celebrate before the action. We will celebrate after the action. Now, SLPP, if you look on the other side, then they sit up, they get their own track there already. So they don't get for spend money or do any other thing for campaign, do this. No, no, no. Or the different things. No. They're going to watch for any loophole, what will not they make, then they work on it. Any loophole, then they work on it. Una for try to the either the ego, una get leadership, then una advise yourself, una form the interim committee. Interim not mean say una they can be back like for say illegitimate. After the interim, they not form am, una don't form una officials them. Then the interim go up, and all this will consume time, and that takes me to the news advice where I want to advise. Just like Makota they put on, there is no time to go to court anymore.
Yeah.
Anybody will say it is gonna court, it is gonna appeal is a waste of time, and that's not enemy of progress. Let that not appear to any of una still of them. So without wasting much time, I hope to this is not time for solution, I repeat, and effectively I think say it's a concept una for draw am, una no for back am for say you no for come na the party office, for Yasane o, for Samura o, for Aneso, una come. Una make side meetings before una come to the public. Then una all una talk to una whatever cohort or anything just like how Marco Tabi said. Let there be a ceasefire for bad mouth or bad words or effective, what you call us, for the cause of or talk bad order against party them opposite or this that. We all our brother, we all our sister. If we think what yourself, rank for the develop,
So,
then how we will come together. So let everybody on the social media, if you get your partner or the party when you get to where you support, do your ceasefire and when I do or we do the groundwork from up we all come together. Don't forget.
so, so here is the thing, Doctor. Like what you dey talk to. I say, it's very difficult for some people them, and I understand. Uh, if you idea of affiliation to a political party is based on individuals, then you find yourself in a situation wherein when that individual is absent, you have a vacuum of interest in your heart for that political party. You understand? And
Mhm.
yes, I think say we get for give some credit to Alfred Conte. No matter what the disagreement with Alfred Conte, we will get right. Like what we
Yeah,
talk. If I be not be at least make we able to resolve that internally. What I bring at this program, I shall tell them. But number one, today we get a constitution we at least is better than the old one.
yeah.
So we
Let,
owe we owe that to the NRM, Alfred Peter Conte, and the other folks then we actually stood up very strongly for picture say we get that constitution.
yeah, make I just round up. I want for still one being there before we move forward. Um, if they don't do somebody bad, make it think say not only one way they don't do bad. Esa Kuruma, they do am bad, then deprive them for becoming president of this country. Jennifer Smart, now one politician, although you not be except they do am bad. You know, sometimes life enough here, many things have happened. Sam Sumana, we will say, okay, a wrong for make you go now the FOY. Well, instead, he go say they do am bad.
No, no, don't say
Uh,
doctor. No,
I know,
am.
I dey come. You don't see me point, but if you see me point, we all for put this behind us. Victor Fo, where he say, oh, he go lay life for the APC. When the power miss him, look who say it today. So all these are pointers where people, for look for say, like ripple effect, people say, oh, look that they don't do bad, they not go left. That's why it go dey expand, and time not go dey. So that's why I'm saying here, we get to be very, or the APC get to be very clever and stop this disappointing and of course and and make them come to a solution. They solve this, then they present this to the grassroots, say, well, this now we want, and it will be as quickly as possible, especially if the big lady them. Now them get the thing now because now the team, the leadership, not to all they were then trying to start something here. The leadership now are the try for pointers. Make
Okay.
them well at the big appeal and they come, they advise themselves, then they draw this. They can do it overnight, they can do it in 1 week, then they move ahead. I rest my case, sir.
All right. Well, that is a very important analysis. But I just want to come back because I have been trying to go on this. Why, no matter what you think of, or no matter which side we in at this conflict, internal conflict, you get to look at the bigger picture where at the collective interest of the party. Now, there are people where in the accused NRM and Peter, Alfred Peter Constance that they want for can destroy this party. Okay, well and dandy. I understand that. But look at it in a more critical way, in a more collective. Before we get a constitution where permits the leaders, the most powerful people at the party, and then they take decision that then they determine would that qualify, would that not qualify. This means we not get an equitable distribution of rights to individuals, and we know who side that particular take we it take we to the gutter, not to so. Um, so if that people that are not been stand up and say now we want that particular clause to be removed from uh, Delvin Thomas says really bad background. Delvin Thomas, you mean when Dr. Kamara be talk for when we dey talk, so now we know exactly inside the background. Dr. Kamara, if you know the talk, just mute you.
Hello?
Yeah, you hearing me?
Are they real, yes?
Okay, I will just mute you for now and see.
Mm.
Uh, okay. No, mute. Just hold on. Okay, let me mute you. All right. All right. It says it seems on both. There, if anybody they get some problem, yes, I don't mute the guest right now. They hear me clearly. Delwin, I don't mute Dr. Kamara. I just want to make you get clear sound. And nobody no complain about that. Now you no more complain about that so far. So I did look at the thread here. If anybody complain again, so I know say yes. Now the noise is from me. Huh? The noise is from me. All right. All right. Hold on a minute. Okay. You hearing me? It clear now for you? Okay. All right. Well, now you want to no more for the complaint about the problem. Yeah. You see, George Owen say it's okay now in your end. I think probably it got to do with you, Delwin. But okay, we can go ahead with the program. Now, what I've been trying to talk about, let's look at it in a more positive way because there is always some kind of blessing in disguise in some of these things where they happen. We will face in a bad thing. Okay, if you critically look at it in a more critical way or a more pragmatic way. Now, today, right now, the way the APC party is, you were now the least person within the party. I'm talking about this, the grassroots or the people that were not the ordinary member of the party. You don't get the opportunity today, as long as you don't do the party for 2 years, for make you run for a position. And when you run for a position, now election, not to election again. So it left to you how you go put yourself so the delegate them for make them vote for you. This is actually now we call equitable distribution of power. Everybody gets the opportunity for make you go try in your luck. If you succeed, fine. If you fail, next time, say you not been do enough. Now that make you fail. So you go try the other next time. But if one person or two people them, that then they sit down and look and say, all right, now this person now will they give because now we feel say it qualify. You understand? And most of the time, based on experience, some of the people that way then say they're not qualified, then qualified part the people that way qualify. It's just a matter of influence and money transaction. You see? So this is not the positive side of all these things we discuss today. So yes, you go Vespa, NRM, you go Vespa, Alfred Peter concept. But look at it in a way. Now, there's nothing way somebody will tell you, say, you not qualified for us. Or we not they give you. If you want to go to any constituency, if they go at the constituency level, if they go campaign, the people that they vote for you, for make whether you be the candidate for that constituency for the APC party. You see what I'm trying to talk about, right? So we have to look at things in a more diverse way. Maybe we'll be able to get a better understanding of certain things the way they happen at this world. Yeah. Now let me go to the comment section now. All right, let's start with. All right, George Owell says, good afternoon, Dr. Mankota. Good afternoon, Doctor. Well, good afternoon, George Owell. And Cheryl Omotunde Blyden, good evening. All right, Judge Owell says, this is my concern in this ruling. If the judge ruled against selection of the old executive and now he is authorizing the same clause that Alfred Peter Conte took to the party to court, what's making another selection? Well, it is a little bit more complicated than you think, because this not temporary committee, because the judge not wants to make the party become leaderless. Now a temporary committee. So the selection process we the judge they talk about for say or we way they talk about this selection process is when somebody want for go be how they call them member of parliament or constituency council member and all those positions. Those are not temporary positions. Those are positions where they take you to serve the national interest, right? So those are the selection process that we will get problem with. But if right now, like when the courts don't nullify all the executive and say, okay, now we go to election. Who is going to take us to election? Nobody. So there must be some mechanism temporarily where we able to still manage the affairs of the party until we go to convention. But another thing that the ruling where I've been left way very, very important. Very, very important. I don't know. This is my opinion because I've been in the party for a very, very long time now, right? The judge also ordered a forensic audit of the party finances. It's very, very important. I don't know. Me no dey na salon, but I know one day see we an annual report of the APC finances na free-talk. I know one day see a paper like that. Maybe then they send that financial report there every time. Now we no more no they able to see them. So, but I don't want to see them for the past 10 years where the APC be not in a power. I don't want to see a financial report for say yes. This year, now this amount of money where the APC able get, and now this way we spend them so that it becomes transparent. It never happened to me in my own estimation. If you disagree with me, please put that in the comment section for say yes. You've been done seeing financial report for the past 10 years where the APC been done in the power and up to this time. So the judge order also for do a forensic analysis of that. What do you think, doctor?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say this is very unfair. If you listen to yourself for the past 10 years, you know, ever you read they make any audit. So within 2 weeks, how they were able to give a financial report for all the other years then where they come. And that's part of it. Also, now it make if I allow because there's anyone green not going able to do that one day. Other party members are for coming and globally, I mean, they collate them, then them give that report to. But I mean, except when you say forensic report,
Doctor, I don't think say the judge say in 2 weeks them for give a report. He said them for do a forensic audit
mm,
and the process within 2 weeks if we don't start because like I said for the past 10 plus 4 right now. Not about nearly 15 years now because we're doing a power a little bit over 10 years, right? And
yeah,
they are now, we're not in a power 4 years now. So it's about 15 years. Yes, you are right. We just come in, you say 2 weeks before produce all these things, not practically possible. But if
yeah.
that's the process, for make them able to go through this forensic audits for see whose side and whose side they're supposed to get information, financial information within the party. If there is never a financial record, because that's another thing. If no record, how you go audit? You can't audit anything. Go ahead.
Well, that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's a bit unfair on that because coupled with the other things that we then get for put in place, I think the time was very, very, very unkind here. The timing we didn't give them. But again, I mean, the ruling has been done. So, considering all other things that we then get for put in place, um, I mean, I don't know how they will do it, but I wish them good luck. You know.
All right. Um, uh, OS, white relation again. I think we don't talk about this, George Orwell already. And he also say, I want to believe that this is a trap by the judge to create chaos within the party, and subsequently aggrieved members go to court and appeal again, which will lead to another prolonged issue, will drag the party to indefinite and waste of time to get prepared for the next election. Yeah, that is exactly now the time we talk about. An appeal at this particular time, it is no longer in the interest of the APC party. Looking at the time we try for move towards the election, and anybody we appear right now is not doing it for the best interest of the party. Now that makes we talk him. Let's put our differences aside right now and come together as a party. If you belong to the Samura camp, the Samsumana camp, the Ansaner camp, the Kuruma camp, or Alfred Peter Conte camp, all the camps we they within the party right now. If you belong to that one day, let's push 10 camps and then try for and try for merge into the single point when at the party. Now we look at the party interest right now and say, you know what, it is done, then we have to move on. We have to put our differences because if we continue to fight ourselves, it's no longer going to be something we benefit the party. So, no cause Mr. X because you not deal with them, no cause Mr. Y because you not deal with them. We all now members, we all now brothers and sisters. Now we look at the interest of the party. Doctor, go ahead.
Well, I don't know, but like I said, let them find solutions and let them embrace themselves in good faith, except if there is any ulterior motive, like for say somebody go be enemy of progress at this time, they want to extrapolate and make them find them wanting or default within these 2 weeks. But there is no time. But I feel within the last 48 hours, therefore, don't they do something behind closed doors and let them all come together and move forward and find solutions?
And you say Alfred Peter Conte give a statement. I just see who say that man when you talk with and did then September. I know actually listen to the statement where Alfred Peter Conte say. Um, So maybe you get an idea what it is. I not get that audio again.
Oh yes. Well, a comment because I think somebody in the social media can talk say the Alpha Alfred Conte, they come here, Richard Conte and Dr. Sylvia Blyden and Mahmoud. They're all they look behind closed doors and then they try to see would I go be this, would I go be that. Then, if I can remember very well, Dr. Oliver Oleika Blyden up to be the Secretary General. Ban Mahmoud say no, instead he want for be. And Uda for be the chairman. But then all they try for abstain from that because they think say there is pressure and some people that will go after them, something like that. So well it come at the media for saying no, there is nothing like that, we don't happen. It debunk that statement came from the social media. So they always try for say this is a new APC because they say somebody will try for tell and congratulations, you don't win. They tell us no, this is not Alfred contest fight. They say this is a win for the APC. And in further one for I thought everybody say this is the time where the young and the old for come and including even women for can take part. And we are still seeing about 30% of women representation today at all levels. So now this will be the try for talk and
Okay.
for say the youth and the age limit to say even some person that we don't do 50, 60, if we one for go into the party, then they don't make themselves as youth, then they begin with the youth. They say no, this time there's going to be a calibration where the youth qualification age will be between 18 and 35. That will be an active youth participant in the party.
Okay.
So, and the cry for the bunch is not there, nobody push him. Now, because plenty people that will talk to, they work for something or something like that. They say, no, they say they want to change because um, Friday, anybody, this, they will just do this person there, it can do, and something like that. So
Okay.
these are some of the things I'm going to do type of talk. Mhm.
Okay. So let we go to Mohammed P. Kamara. He said the solution is the party needs to come together and solve the issue because the time is too late. So let everybody stand up and why. That's exactly Mr. Mohammed P. Kamara. And the same thing we talk about. There is no longer going to be, oh, yeah, the rule against we because this or that. No, no, no. The ruling is gone. Let's come together. Let's put our differences. Let's try to isolate the cause and the bad mouthing and try for shifter them out and put them aside and say, okay, you na APC member, me na APC member, the next person na APC member. So what will they do now together, collectively, where the APC go able to succeed come 2023? That is the most important thing right now, you know. All right, so George Orwell we have been trumpeting about how bad the 1995 APC constitution was. But we all forget that this constitution was written at the time to suit the party at the time. And it was not written by this outgoing executive. Now everybody is singing praises this new constitution. 10 years from now, we will be critiquing this constitution as biased. Constitutions are written to suit the moment, and amendments are always made to adjust with the current time. Okay, you're right, George Orwell. The 1995 Constitution was a constitution with a right for specific reason, and it was the right and specifically because of the military um, juntas where they restrict the APC party from gathering together, right? That was the reason because they banned the APC party from gathering together by the NCRC. Say they're not together at all. So how they were able to pick executive, that make them put that selection. And the selection was tentative, but it became a point when the leadership was using the selection process to the extent that then they even abuse other people there. We're supposed to get the right for them to participate because these people are members of the party. This was the only problem with a lot of people then get with 1991 constitution because this particular selection became the focal point of leadership elections, not alone. Even here, remember in 2000 was it 2016? Before that, 2012 in America here, they came in, they select the executive, then left arm, then go. In 2016, they came in, they did the same thing. So it seems like there was a time when people they will get the ability for make them able to elect their own representative within the party, especially like the United States of America branch, the APC USA, where we get so many people that were capable enough for conduct election. And because we did that in 2010, right? So it became clear that the selection process has been abused so much that brought problem. And remember, this same selection clause now lead we to the disaster who if we find ourselves to this room. In 2017, when they go to McKinney, a single person just sit down and say, you know what, I am the president, I am the leader, chairman of the party. So this person, I select, I want to make a lead, for make it be a candidate. And if you not agree with that, too bad with you. If you feel say you 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 popular, go from your own party. The reason what to make are the reason what to make are they remind people them on this right now is because let we not forget say the 1991 constitution, not for everything within the 1991 constitution a bad thing. This selection process now in you know change the entire 1991 constitution. It just like water. If you take water, clean water, put on a bowl. You fill up and pin a bowl. That small poison when you take, you drop na that water there, it don't change the entire water. So now the same thing with this. The way we misuse the selection process in cause the entire 1991 constitution, people disagree with that constitution there. Now it make people call for an amendment or a new constitution. And the new constitution, yes, you're right. Today, it's okay, but it may not be okay 10 years from now because people evolve. Other things can come in, other ideas can come in, where applicable at that time. Now it applicable at about 10 years from now. The things that we feel say applicable, applicable again. So, doctor, go ahead.
Well, yeah. Well, you don't talk the thing because laws are made to be broken.
Yep.
So if they are broken, then you will find out that even constitutions they are amended.
Yeah,
But that don't mean say if they don't get any executive or whatever power where they would don't put the it not will change. It will change. You know. Now you make in fact, Makuno um allow make bad law for the president
yeah,
because if you always affect the you know following you know laws and we get for calm. So we could try to be as fair as possible. These are the most important thing. But by and large, here I don't want to comment much. Again, I stand by my ground. There is no need for waste any time. Now solutions. And the solutions, everybody swallow the bitter pill, the id and the ego, and come together and move forward. Believe me, that's
yeah.
it.
And George Orwell says, I hope Alfred Peter Conte will be magnanimous to bring all members together as he is the hero now for a lasting peace and reconciliation within the party, or else this is going to be a long marathon within the party. I agree with you, and I totally hope so. Not only Alfred Peter Joseph, but everybody in the party, because you cannot bring peace just by yourself. The other side has to cooperate too. So everybody, we need everybody in cooperation and say, you know what,
So,
it's let bygone be bygone and move forward.
and in addition to that, until he don't fight for equality, for fairness and justice, I hope say instead no go come with that id and the ego of being a dictator. Let him be flexible as much as possible to agree with the people that we don't meet with. Because all was not bad with the APC. If
Yeah.
you look at the APC, what they don't do, I don't think say they need for campaign sales because SLPP don't campaign for them.
And
So
these are the points that
yeah,
we need to organize.
yeah. So let him come with a very open mind and with whatever background people that he work with, make everybody in fact when they get for call at the table or to the blackboard, let it be a level playing ground because in that statement it will try to say, oh, anybody where they don't know say they can get this or that, they don't will take part. So which means it is time for begin condemn people then. And that will be a dictator in that case.
Yeah.
Because those judge for that shall be judged, you know. So that's my advice to him in the Peter contest.
So George Orwell also say, so I think he talk about the constitution being very fluid. It can change anytime. George Orwell says, um, so this so this means someone will have to take the party to court again after 2 years or so. No, no, no.
No,
Okay.
we don't pass that point today. Let me put the advice say, make everybody swallow the bitter pill and not to come, except if the person is an enemy of progress. And
No, no.
then that person there now,
Not
we
that.
don't know say, now push and not push him from the other side for
No,
making you disturb the party.
I don't think say that waiting they happen right now. Now he mean he dey talk about 2 or 3 years from now when
Mm.
this constitution it don't fall somehow in the dictate of time because things can change. Now I think the issue here is even when people them they call after the elections, where people them they call for overhaul of we constitution, they form this particular this committee. I think the 9 man committee where they go when they go around for try for understand we lost the election. Then come up with suggestion say one of the problems is the constitution because of the selection process where people they misuse too much, the leadership they misuse too much, and they try for put um, this constitution together, but there was some kind of back and forth within the NRM and the leadership. The NRM believe say the leadership want for quick wins. They no want for make this constitution remove the selection. Then say it is also now a very good case something happened. That was the argument of the leadership was say the reason why this constitution the selection process still needs support for David because in case something happens we will not able to make election, you still get the opportunity for select. The NRM say no, it was the same thing that happened where people then abuse them. So this back and forth when they go on, and there was no compromise at all between them people here. And the NRM went to court, and I remember right when the APC supposed for go do them convention na Putnam. The NRM went to court and say no, they stop that convention because they believe say the constitution we right now at that time don't tamper am or bring in back this selection process. Then stop am. After that, they all sit down. Say let's withdraw the case. Now, of course, they all agree for withdraw the case, but there was some a catch. So the NRM say, okay, we dey withdraw the case, but we need for satisfy these conditions by the executive. The executive agree for satisfy them condition on this. The NRM say After they withdraw the case, the executive now genuinely satisfy the conditions the way they all agree on. So instead, the executive begin go infiltrate the NRM members them, try for bribe some of them for make them left the NRM. Now in been bring the split within the NRM where you been see some people that now them in the camp because that kind of bribe payment, they begin to talk against other people at the NRM. So Peter Conte, Alfred Peter Conte, in take on himself say, well, if the NRM not continue with this, in they go na court. Now in cause go back na court. So
Mr.
so let me complete quickly at the bring you come. So if 3 years from now, this constitution will not say it no longer applicable to certain areas, we all just get you know what? Yes, we all agree. Let make amendment. There's no need for us to go to. You only they go now when the other side not agree, or let una all say that together. You know, but we hope say hopefully that's not going ever happen again because we don't learn with lesson. Doctor, go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Makota and Mr. George Orwell, with due respect, yeah, it's good to speculate, but let's speculate and let's leave. Tomorrow will take care of itself 3 years from now. Let us work within the free time, and a stitch in time saves nine for now. So, if any changes get for me in the future, then let us go with the tide of the time where they come, you know. So that speculation there, it's right, but let's leave it for tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Let us work on the present status quo. Now important and moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. So let we go to the next one when Mr. Mohammed Monde. He said, may God continue to bless Alfred Peter Conte. Indeed, he is a hero. Well, to some people, he's a villain. You know, so, to some people, he's a hero. To some people, he's a villain. You know, so well, that's our democracy, right? People can get the right for give their own opinion. George Orwell also said, with the selection at McKinney Convention in 2017, I want to believe all the contestants could not find a solution as to who will be the flag bearer. So they asked the former president to choose. Some of them thought they will be chosen. This brought the stifle and discontent by some aggrieved members like Alpha Khan and Victor Fo. Uh, well, I don't know, George. I don't know. I wish Ajibujalo for Bindea because in team Bindede and he been at the thick and thin, or Richard Conte uh, for Bindea for tell we say no. So we don't know it could be true or not, but based on the public view, what we understand, and it happened for this say one of the candidates na me own person, Zana Bangura, na me own person that one day. So I know say the president been give um, hope to all everybody. If you go to Ram, you say, Pa, I want for canceling up. You say, go to up, I give you me blessing. Anyone we come, we go, we pass through the president. They say, I give you me blessing. Now, here is the problem though. I don't think that first of all, there was a need for make the the 26 candidates for pick a candidate. That still not resolve the problem of selection. We could have just do an election. Very simple. We don't want a McKinney. All the delegates are there in McKinney. Why do we ignore the actual process where everybody for can try in,
A
in
lot.
chance? Then if you fail, you fail. But you say, okay, let the people that did them go choose. Nobody know go. If me they contest, the other person they contest. You want for make I go vote for another person? No. That's not a recipe for failure in the first place.
Mankota, no. Let me exonerate the president here. If the president you come, you meet him, he say you want him up, he say go try your luck. You know what I mean bad. If the other person come, but
Doctor,
the only thing they for go for election.
doctor, the president
Yes.
doesn't try you love because I tell you, say one of the candidates, na my sister, right?
Uh-huh.
In fact, he even put money here. He say he gets a blessing. When somebody tell you say you get me blessing,
Huh.
whether you misread that or not, you could just feel say, well, the person deal with you.
See, what about Victor Fo? Where he say go wear the same suit, make you speech already.
You see the point now the time for talk about this hope way the president be every all of a sudden he can't dash them. Now that make a lot of people they're not able to overcome that anger. You know, but like Victor Foso, what actually killed Victor Fo now more? You know the name of the vice president, right?
Yeah.
Well, go inside that room there, according
Mm,
to not in the day, but according to what he then talk.
mm.
Say, Victor Fo be one for go sit down by the president because now the vice. Now the president say, come on, I am. Go sit down under. So Victor Ford then say he been so so embarrassed. Nowadays he killing spirits to, altogether. You know.
Of course.
But in
Yeah.
any the
Mm.
president anyway he accept his mistake. Hopefully we they can now, we all were able to learn a lesson from this. You understand? Because
Yeah.
um if you don't rule as a president, you are the chairman, the current chairman,
Mm.
don't ever come out and take sides. That the same thing what they talk about earlier about the executive taking
Mm.
sides right now. We don't delegitimize the neutrality. You know,
Mm.
because if you're not the leader where everybody they look up to, and you can account to you, just tell me say, okay, me not the put on because me not outgoing. I want to be neutral, but go try you luck. If you succeed, good luck. If you not succeed, fine. If you tell the people then so, it's fine. Then the worst thing now, all the delegates we are there in my opinion. So what will stop the election? I don't know. What will stop the election? Because the delegates we are there, everybody was there. So why they not do the election and say, okay, let them go make let them go choose somebody because there is something behind it. But in any case, that's not
Well, now I bring the change of the constitution. Now I make Alfred Peter Conte go na court.
now. Yeah, that's true. I agree. Bokari Sao say the action of Alfred Peter Conte have forever liberated the APC from the dictatorship of dictators and will further continue to enhance our fragile democracy. Yeah, I think no matter what you think about Alfred Conte, um, like what Dr. Kamara talks is, right now, you get the opportunity, right now, you get the opportunity for making able remove that suspicion where a lot of people then get. Because a lot of people then say, well, Alfred Conte, now the SLPP, the supporter, or now the control folks within the APC party, the supporter. Now, if na somebody, if na me, I go try for playing some kind of unity where go everybody go see say yes. It was never about Alfred Conte or it was never about the SLPP where people they accuse and saying that they sponsor them. This is about the benefit of the party. So yeah, I agree with you in that. All right, let's go to more forward. He said Peter Conte will be appreciated not today. Listen to his clip today. He has such an inviting voice. Hopefully, I'm not listening to that clip there, but hopefully, I talked to Alfred Conte sometimes ago. Hopefully, history will able to vindicate him. All right. He also, Momofa also said, Tanzania is the canker worm in the APC. Worse than
Oh
it,
boy.
good riddance. Right. Well, I don't know if not the worst person, not the APC party. Some people that disagree with you, probably Mr. Sen disagree with you. Me just they take say, the blame is collective, not to one person no more. all the leadership supposed to be to share the blame, not a specific person. Even though yes, the Tanzania is the face of most of the problems them, but he is not alone. Doctor, let me tell you that there was an euphoria at the time then that John Cisse, who has a nephew to the president, would have won if he voted. So it resulted in this election by EBK. It was a trap also. If EBK had selected his nephew, he would have crucified him also. So it was a lose-lose situation for EBK. And that makes, if we been done, um, allow the election for go. If the election is transparent, well, no matter how people they say in nephew, if the election then put the box, everybody go vote, then open the box them in public, count the votes then in public, and then know whether win or not. Yeah, some people that when it's gone to them will say so, but at the end of the day, it is much better than Anet by Koroma for coming and say to hell with una all me the people that are 59 are the best person for lead this party. That's not the problem, my brother.
Dr. Makota,
Yeah,
yeah, when you get a leakage for exam, at least you don't study, not so.
yeah.
But enough for me, yeah, Dominion, yeah. Enough for me, you just go select person, you say, okay, can't do something, or can't do this, can't do that one day. If for really study, then you go take the exam. Now, in that day. So this time, you're not going to be a Dominion, you. If for really be by election, not so.
Oh yeah, mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think okay, Bokari Sao say the former president had a very odd relationship with some of his party members. Word had it he once threatened his party members of killing them and drinking champagne on their graveside. Well, that's how what we had. We heard that too, but that's a rumor we will just hear it, so we're not going able to authenticate whether it's true or not. People way hear it, they tell we say the president says so. So, but we hear it, so there is nothing we can say for say whether that rumor is authentic or not. All right, Mohammed Mondel says the party secretariat was a no-go area for some APCans, which was not good for the party, thanks to God, because the party is now liberated. And that's now one of the problems we have been get with the leadership also. You know, I look for all people, the leaders they're accountable more than the ordinary people, because they say to whom much is given, much is expected. We give them power, but they make them lead this party and let them unify the party. So they're supposed to do a lot of work for make sure say everybody is welcome, irrespective of what are your opinion. And diverse opinion are a very good thing for any organization, including political party organization. If you just say every time the opinion for align with your own opinion, there is always going to be a failure. You know, that make I don't believe in the Tolongo uh,
Ideology.
yeah, I don't believe in that. When a party is always they say, okay, now one line, then that party will never grow. There must be multiple lines. And within the multiple lines and there you get the best road. You see, that's so a political party supposed to. But that's no longer ideology or concept where people that they would them call may not buy into that at all. Because they make the party progress. So when they have been hearing say some people have not been getting the mind for going at the party, it concerns me very much. And I hope say the next in team body will get for camp, if they allow everybody, irrespective of what the differences in opinion of them people then they connect, then get access to the party headquarters and feel welcoming. If that happens, the party they able for grow and expand. So yeah, I was very concerned too, doctor.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, I say you get anything for sale on that?
Well, the only two are the advice the youth them, all party stalwarts, and both home and abroad, for make them remain calm, let them maintain peace, let them obey the law and order, and make the top brass them then go meet as soon as possible and find the solution and agree so that the party will move forward. Because it is to the benefit of a team we win. Then when the team win, all man will share the glory. Not only one man win. If we one man for his sake, the party get for win, then the party will win. But if not for one man, the party they lose, then the party they lose. So it is all or none rule. Now so the heart, when you contact, the contact. When you don't the contact, you know the contact. Not will all try for be in one piece, or the APC make them all try for be in one piece and move forward.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor, for that last advice. And I also want for um, join Dr. Kamara as a member of the APC party. We always do work very hard for the collective interest of the party, not the individual. For say, it is time for now we put with individual egos. Sometimes family members can get palaver, they can first, but there is always a solution along the way, and the realization say this house is our house. If we search for destroyer, then nobody no gets place for sleep. But if we just search because we get the, differences and during then differences today, we go we go able for rebuild the house better. I think that is always going to be a very good thing. You know, like I say always, disagreement sometimes is not a bad thing. It is not. The only thing way bad in disagreement when there is no willingness to resolve disagreement. That is where the bad is. But you can disagree and come up, one person come halfway, the other person come halfway, we are meet in the middle. We are able to solve our problem. Now that a ruling has been rendered by the court, let's forget about insulting Adrian Fisher, all that in order to the party. Because course no they help that party, ladies and gentlemen. I want for making know that. And from the beginning of this course, I come out publicly. Now this platform and other platform I come out and publicly say I am not supporting anybody we cause whether you cause the SLPP members or you cause we all members the way at the APC party are not the supporter because it's not a strategy, not a political strategy. And in 1970, tactics where we get to one party. Now the world don't grow, the world don't revolve around civilization. You know the course you wait through. You know the work. Okay. So now that we don't get this ruling, let's unite together. Make this ruling make we unite more and more. We hug ourselves and say, I'm sorry, forgive me. The other person say, well, Mr. I'm sorry, forgive me. We hug ourselves and say, well, what the way forward? And we put the strategies that we were supposed to do. Like what the doctor say, the SLPP already don't make things them for we. But we're not going to ever able to win that if we scatter like the way we scatter. So. Let nobody not tell you lie. If you not, we just feel say, oh, because the SLPP mess up, so therefore we're not going to do anything for try for strategize, try for unify the party. But 2023, we're not going to go second round. And I've been not telling this, not so. We're not mark this again. If we not put we house together at this time and try for unify with 2023 is not going to be a second round. There is no second round in 2023. The SLPP and the winning with last. And with the pray to God make that not happen. And the reason what to make I know they afraid for talking out because it is better now we talk out publicly. Let people they know so that the one the way they lead this party are, then go able to say, you know what, waiting them boy and they talk now too. So let we make sure say we try for the solve the problems that we will get before it's too late. You know. So again, I just want to thank the outgoing executive. No matter what you think about the outgoing executive, me gets a lot of disagreements with the outgoing executive, not in a bad way, but the fact that I mean they make some mistakes we have not been willing for rectify. And they always they come out and say, respectfully, I don't think say what they do is not the right thing. But they don't do so much good also, especially Anes Koroma. The president Anes Koroma, no matter what somebody think about him, now because of him, we didn't have power. Okay, remember in 1996, I will not even bring 6% of vote. In 2002, I think, now about 25% we had run. The second run now in 2005, now in we 2007, sorry, now in we able for win. So now through honest by Corona, the APC power come back now power, the APC party come back now power. So we get for give and that respect it. And him also now human being. He dey make mistake. Any leader they make mistake. The only problem is when the leader is unwilling to acknowledge the mistake and try to rectify the mistakes, then they na problem. But don't leader not in a people that want to make mistake. Including us by Corona or even they're all na human beings. We all they drink water, right? We they sleep. Every single day, maybe 8 hours. Where we not aware of who self, where we only don't sleep. You're not aware of who you are. So that tell you say you are not perfect. So they are not perfect too. So let me also forgive them for the mistakes that they don't do and try to embrace them for say these are our elders. Irrespective of the mistake or the disagreement we get, they are our elders. Let's bring them together and try for embrace them as members of the APC party and respect them for the good thing that we don't do for the party. That's all I have to say. And I just want to thank everybody. Well, I think I get two comments where some people have put. Let me just read that quickly. Then we'll go able to close. The thing there say APC will now want to make stupidness, huh? Will want for vote for President Bio and still una they thanks Chris, maybe not Chris we talk about. Well, understand, I know say a lot of people they're not happy with the APC party because we not take advantage of the mess way the SLPP that they make. Instead, we focus on this internal victory. I understand a lot of people they get, yeah, go ahead, doctor.
Yeah, no, they know they make Isabi APC get one song. I like that song. The APC na one word, oh, yeah. APC na one word, oh. So APC na one word. So don't worry, they're not the make Chris. They will go make the one word.
Okay, hopefully. Mama Foya, you should be in the new set-up doctor. You sound reasonable and a better politician. Well, power na go na get am right. I dey do me level best for left me own legacy na the APC. Where people they would not agree with me today. Tomorrow when they sit down, they say we can get one man at the APC we dem call Dr. Mankota. That guy there, he been actually genuine for the APC. He been they talk the truth, not just stop it, just say what he been they talk about. Hopefully, I will be a leader at the APC probably soon. If the APC mess up, may God forbid it in 2023, we're not expecting in 2020. That's when they Ajibu Jalo all then they woo for me. All right, Ajibu Jalo say, frankly, if the former leader and chairman EBG is a well-meaning Christian, he will put out a statement instant asking all and especially the, especially the several affiliate groups and sympathizers to embrace this chance, this change, indiscriminately, work with the current executives for the betterment of the party. Yeah, Adi Bujalo, you're right. First of all, thank you very much for coming on the program. For giving you because this is a defining moment for the APC party. And the coach say, I hope him and Escoma will now for the last time come out and say, all right, I accept what in the court say because when I remember Namabuka, he been say not to the court and power, not to the court pull him. Now the court don't pull him. So if I were him, I will come out and say, right, this is not the court of the land. So we agree with what you can say, and I dey call on all the APC members and these athletes groups here for make them come together and forget about these indifferences and become one, and we move forward. Go ahead, Dr. You raise your hand.
Yes, Dr. Makota and me, 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 me Pekin Ajibu. Yeah, you're right, but in this case, more to excuse them. Now this is one thing where I want for advice. They say make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. Now, for go into elections, not to pick things. We need most of them we all brother here for support me. And me, I believe say nothing has changed. And it better sometimes he talk or sometimes it better he not talk. But I believe say somehow he is in control. And the man who is still most active or for be most active now, now the Secretary General, now he for do because all this now he go come therefore make compile because right now he get for do a lot of work at the background and everybody they point a finger at him, especially the NRM, the diaspora, the other people there will do this, will do that one, their position. So it should be very active and try to bring all the groups them together. Moko excuse fairness now for now, but I believe he gets a part of it. Thank you.
No, but Doctor, let's face the fact. When you make you a good leader,
Mm,
now during the time of crisis, right? Now you
mm,
dey even something where you know them, they against your own emotions, but because
mm,
you are a leader, you have to come out and say something because you get a lot of followers, a lot of people that they look up to you, right? And for the fact that now they don't say he not a leader again, and a
mm.
lot of people that they want for make you say they make you come out and say no, I don't think I agree with this. So they move forward. The other people then say this or that. So it is time for letting come. The coach Ajibujalo say come out and say, you know what, I was the leader of the APC, but I don't work for this party. We don't fence ourselves so much. It is time for them we put our differences aside and move forward. That statement alone, they bring a lot of unity within the party. And they tell you for free, doctor. But if you just keep
Okay.
that much, a lot of people that they interpret them in different ways. So I think Ajib Jalo is right for CS. Then he come out and say something and try for unify the party for the last time.
Okay. Make I just again come. America I say if you talk, you better may talk, you better may not talk. So now Moku say would they ask the pa provided what you go can't talk, they know who thump and they hold am back. So then probably they make it just keep quiet. You see me reason? Yeah. So
Well,
Moku excuse.
so
Mhm,
much talk so much during the course of this case. They're
mhm.
not. So let's just come, doctor. Let it come and say something.
Okay. Well, will they ask him for make it come so
Yeah, let
that we will further unify the party and move it forward?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
So
agree.
that's the last word for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Bokarisa will say, why are you talking about the Secretary General Yansane, who is classed as defunct? Now you did so, doctor.
Who is class as what?
Defunct. You say
Ah,
Yansane is a defunct Secretary General.
no, still, well, yeah, you misunderstand me. Do you have me, brother? You know, the work of a secretary general is not easy. I was a secretary general, a youth secretary general for a long time. I mean, even the vice president, he will find out to say, not relevant at times because most of the time, the president and the secretary general, and then they work together, go up and they take minutes and other things. Them. So everything is centered at him. And they just get for work with them for bring things them together, even in this transition period. Naim Amin, yeah, I hope
Yeah.
say I will satisfy you.
I think I don't know, but they see some flags and say the Secretary General want for run for chairmanship. I don't know how to read it.
Well,
So, but,
try, don't try for your luck. Now this not to selection, and see that by election,
yeah.
fine.
Or how that will be happen where it they run then in they conduct the election.
Well, this now be the try for toxic. When they all meet together in one room, then they strategize. The strategy not to outside in the diaspora or the talk or this or that or for sing or for dance. There's this time for make them make solutions
Yeah,
for
yeah,
strategizing. That strategy.
yeah. It's time for
Yep.
solution. Yeah, go ahead if you want to do make a last word.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Well, once again, I just want to thank everybody for watch this program. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now, so that every time, and make sure say you check, you click that notification, whether on Facebook or on YouTube, so that anytime when we come live, then you were able for get a notification and watch and contribute. Especially the people they way they contribute. Most of the people they see new faces, but that's wonderful. Most of the people that way they contribute, they know the culture of the city and for them. Nana interactive program every time. We want to let people they give their own opinion because it is not like that we study everything. That people they can talk to the talk. We want for them to give feedback on what we talk.
Yeah.
You want to say something? Doctor?
No, no, no. I'm in a yawn. Sorry.
Yeah, so and that's agriculture, and I just want to thank you very much for our contribution. It really make a lot of sense, and a lot of people the way they watch we don't know some of the information that they put in social media that they put in it make an educative effort for them people to get it. Hey James Kenneth, how you dey do that? So, well, we don't reach you at the end of the program. Also, thank you very much for the program. And we'll go soon about, well, they still monitor the situation at alone and see how within this responsibility we can give them different groups, Cherikoko na your side, and Alpha content na your side, how then go able for form this 21-man committee and let we move forward as a party because, as I always say, I am, we are running out of time. The SLPP, then they go all over the country. And unfortunately, we have people within the APC party. We now don't join the SLPP party for go around, help the SLPP party in the north. People like Alpha Khan, Dr. Victor Fo, the one and they all, now then they go campaign for the SLPP. So we there at a disadvantaged position. The sooner we unite and work together, the better we get a chance for make we able to succeed. I thank you very much again. We will see you back next week, the same time, the same place. Good night.